Hey everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this video about Mercury retrograde in Libra and Virgo for the season of 2022. So we have Mercury going retrograde on September 9th at 11:38 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, New York City time for reference at 8 degrees and 57 minutes of Libra. So this is where it'll start. It'll eventually end up in Virgo. So Mercury will be direct from September 9th until the 2nd of October when it goes direct. It'll first be in the air sign, I should say, of Libra, September 9th through the 23rd, and then transitioning into the earth sign of Virgo on the 23rd of September until the 2nd of October. And so a few dates to note apart from this. On September 23rd, we have a Libra Cazimi, which is when we have both the Sun and Mercury in the same sign. So in this case, Libra. So this will be the prime golden date to make any decisions during this retrograde period because of extra clarity from the position of the Sun and also Mercury with communication and also wisdom and knowledge. We also have Mercury up in opposition to Jupiter, which is in retrograde currently in Aries. So be really careful of any potential communications going down the wrong way. In other words, be careful of any flare-ups, of things getting out of line, of perhaps losing tempers because of this energy. We also have a Mercury forming a trine with Pluto during the transition in Virgo. And right now, Pluto is in retrograde in Capricorn. So this is going to be a good aspect, highlighting and helping us transition help us transition into new belief systems, new processes, and new ideas from the old. So there's a shift there. We also have the post-shadow retrograde period from October 2nd through the 17th. And I won't go into detail about what Mercury retrograde is, but general snafus to expect include, communication delays, travel, transportation, technological issues. Because Mercury is the fastest moving planet within the personal planets, not some of the outer planets that we also have in retrograde at the moment. I'm also going to link below a video I did on why Mercury retrograde is also good. A lot of people tend to be scared because of the general mishaps that can occur. But there are also good elements to this, and it's just being aware and a good time to surrender and to go with the flow when things just go out of your control, especially repeatedly. So this particular retrograde focuses on the air sign of Libra and the earth sign of Virgo, and both of them are what they have in common. They're both focused on perfection in different ways. So this retrograde is really going to illuminate and focus on relationships, not just to ourselves, but to others, all different types of relationships, money and values, and then wellness, routines, and health. So with Libra, we'll dive into that first. There is a social aspect here. And again, like I mentioned before, this retrograde is really going to highlight relationships, all of our intimate one-on-one partnerships, relationships with all types of people, friendships, romantic partnerships, work collaborations, and colleagues, work professionals, and friendships. Did I say that already? Forgive me, because I'm a Libra sun rising and a Virgo moon, so I've been feeling this for weeks now. And so what's going to be interesting here is that you are going to really start to notice where communication has faltered, has gone awry, and where it can be improved, especially when it comes to your one-on-one relationships. You are going to see where things have become imbalanced. That's key because Libra is the ruler of the scales of this inanimate balance, right? And it's about trying to find not just equanimity, but also reciprocity in these relationships. So anything that's one-sided, anything that doesn't feel good anymore, that's not reciprocal, where you feel like you're being used, it's going to be highlighted here, and you're going to have the opportunity to speak because Libra in this energy is very diplomatic, very amenable, very favorable to trying to find a peaceful conclusion to relationship issues and problems. On the one hand, be careful because Libra can be a people pleaser. So this is a shadow aspect where you try to forget about your own needs and feelings in favor of the other person. So something to watch out for here. At the same time, Libra is ruthless when it comes to getting rid of people that no longer serve them. And I don't mean that in a transactional way, essentially dropping dead weight. If there is something that takes the Libra energy out of balance, it's out. If it's chaotic or threatens their peace, it's out. And again, another caveat, be careful of codependency or people pleasing. And so during this time, you may see in all your different types of relationships endings, reboots, reconciliations, reconnections, reappearances, and returns from the past, and new starts, the initiation of new relationships with new people, and also people that you have known, but things haven't really gotten into a more intimate level, right? Like taking that friendship to the next level and getting to know that person and actually becoming friends, or taking a friendship to a romantic level, or whatever the case is. And so this is something to really take note of. And also too, this is a time to really ask yourself what you will not tolerate anymore, because some of these relationships are being highlighted for that reason, and also those that are coming back around. Did you learn the lesson that you needed to? What were the lessons or the lesson that you needed to learn in this dynamic? Because not everyone who returns or not everyone who is currently in your life is going to stay. This is an opportunity, like I mentioned before, for reconciliation, to make amends, peace, to mediate anything. Again, it doesn't mean you'll stay connected to that person. Another key here is to map out your non-negotiables and your preferences with all of your relationships so you can establish that reciprocity, that balance, that uniformity, and also that consistency that you may be looking for across all of these different types of connections. So moving on, Libra, retrograde in Libra is also about focusing on yourself and your communication. So you may have or experience difficulty in expressing yourself and making decisions or clearly articulating what you want. So just be mindful of this. And this is a time to go inward, as with any retrograde, especially with Mercury, because it moves so fast. You may be feeling that innate feeling of tiredness, of mental exhaustion, disorientation, because Libra is a very cerebral sign. It's an air sign. It's all about communication, but also about the mental landscape too. And so take time to reflect and rest, and take a time out if you need from relationships. Something too to note is overgiving. Where in your relationships are you giving or overgiving too much of your time and energy? Where are the balances not where are the scales not balanced in this case? And this is going to pop up and you're going to feel it, especially when it's going to come back to you and you may need help, you may need assistance, you may need a listening ear or support or whatever the case is, and you reach out to these different relationships in your lives for that support that you may have given. You are going to see clearly during this time, especially, where some of these connections are imbalanced. And again, I always say, like with retrogrades, this is a great time for self and solitude, to go inward and to really get clear about what it is that you may want in all of your relationships. Because when I say map out your non-negotiables and preferences, it's not just with dating or with romantic relationships, but this comes too with the type of people you wish to work for, the type of friends you wish to make. So moving on, Libra also rules over contracts, money, and values. I should say Venus, because it's ruled by the planet Venus. And also legal issues, because it's justice, the scale. So this is especially key, something to watch out for if you do have to review contracts or sign any important documents. Really, really triple check it and read the fine print, especially as we get closer to the nexus with Virgo. Now shifting into Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and this is also a very mental sign. Very analytical, very logical. It deals with the practical earthly issues, very detail-oriented, deals with the day-to-day routines, wellness, boundaries, and our schedule. And so when Mercury goes retrograde in this sign, again, it'll happen on the 23rd of September, we are going to experience delays, confusion, mishaps, especially when it comes to the smaller fine print and details. So think missed dates or missed words in emails or miscommunications, misunderstandings, or maybe appointments that were lost or weren't made, or emails that weren't sent. Whatever it is, there's going to be mixed arrows going in different directions here. So really take care to add more space into your calendar, patience into your schedule, and also review written things more carefully. With both of these signs, with this entirety, or Mercury retrograde's entire cycle, this is an opportunity, like I said before, to go inward, to really assess, review, reflect. Think of all the R's, reorganize in these particular areas of your life. Relationships are key. In money, in your values. Beauty as well when it comes to self and your everyday life. And also in your wellness and day-to-day routines. What needs to be updated? What needs to be tackled? What things haven't gotten done or that you have pushed aside? What conversations haven't you had? What have you been kind of putting under the rug when it comes to people or things that you have to get done? This is very much a focus on self-care at the bottom line with both, because there's an element here of making sure you take care of yourself in the most optimal way, and you ensure that happens, not just with boundaries, but by speaking up with people and also for yourself, and advocating and delineating boundaries that are important for you in order to ensure that your wellness, your routines are intact, because they may be affected with this retrograde. And because of the impact Mercury may have on your physical and mental plane. And so diving a little bit more into the schedule and your daily routines when the retrograde shifts into Virgo, think about what's out of balance. What could you shift in your schedule more? Maybe you're working too much, or you are not working enough and you need more play or rest. Take a look at your hours. You may have to delineate work hours, particularly if you work for yourself or work at home, or maybe you overgive too much at work. So look beyond the big picture and look at the fine details. Think about what you need to do to make yourself feel whatever emotion you want to feel, whether it's at peace, energized, whole, loved, whatever it is. Think about what you need to do to ensure that gets included. That's part of your own wellness and day-to-day routines. Space, time, and making sure you have energy for yourself are going to be key here. And Virgo is very much about minimizing and simplifying, detox, if you will, not just the body, but your overall life, to make things easier, to make things more practical, not to focus on things that we don't need to focus on, but things that are the most important for you. Also think about new time management and calendar or scheduling systems that'll help optimize your life in the best way possible. Finally, another aspect that I want to mention with this retrograde is to stay true to yourself, because I got authenticity. And I feel like this retrograde is going to test you in these areas, particularly when it comes to your own values, your integrity, and what it is you truly want in your life. Think about exactly like what I said, what you truly want and desire, because with this retrograde, you may be tested repeatedly with friendships, especially if these are friends that you have been or that have been a part of your life for a long time, or romantic relationships that keep coming back or that are on and off, or any type of relationship dynamic. The same thing with your day-to-day routine and wellness. What things have you been neglecting for a long time that now you cannot resist? You have to pay attention to. So this is again about taking care of yourself and optimizing this time period and energy to the best way possible for you. So I hope this video has helped, has given you a few keys on how to get the most out of this, and also what to pay particular attention to. Nothing to be afraid of. It's simply staying aligned to your own values, making sure that you are doing things from your heart, from what really rings true to you, and you're going to feel it more than anything. And it's going to be hard with Libra and Virgo ruling this retrograde, because both are cerebral and very mental signs, to really tap into your body and feel what feels good to me at this time. I'm wishing you all a very, I'll just say, peaceful time as much as possible. Surrender, let go, go with the flow, do what you can, and then just ride the waves. Take care, and thank you all.